a little bit just one-dimensional, but if anyone was going to bring it to prominence, it's probably going to be Kuroki, and we'll have to see if they can survive this game number 2 with our casters, Sunsfan and Jenkins.
Thank you, panel. Riveting words from all three of you. Great individual gentlemen, each and every one of you. Jenkins here with Sunsfan. I said that backwards. We're just going to ignore that fact. But the thing that we're not going to ignore, Jenkins, is that a Vengeful Spirit has been picked. I literally forgot this was a hero in Dota.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and admit this just live on air. We did Google what the abilities did. I'm going to call us out for that.
Just the passive. The passive specifically, right?
Because I thought it was flat damage, maybe, but then it's like, oh, that's Luna.
Yeah, that's Luna now. They flip-flop these skills like 2 or 3 times now.
It gave attack range at a point.
That's right.
But it's just base damage again. It's like Razor's ability, except Razor, it's only on himself, which is just the worst, the worst possible thing.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
You know, okay.
This is the AM first game, and Ven, I mean, I love Ven just as a concept, right? This hero's had her time to shine in Dota history.
Yeah, I don't mind this Nigma draft at all. I think the Ven, I mean, it's a 5, so it's like, there's not really that much discussion that I think should go into 5 roles, just because they're going to be walking around dying and stunning people and warding anyway. It's not the most impactful role for the Terror Blade. He's going to have the Wave of Terror for the minus armor. But the Bat Rider, I mean, I think this is a free Bat game. Bat could dumpster any of these lanes. He's really good against both of these supports. The only thing is the Storm Spirit can kill him in the game.
Right. We're going to see some level 1 action. Miracle is in quite a bit of trouble trying to get those sticky napalms out, but the cold, yeah, absolutely. First blood, the way of Secret, not the start you want from Mr. Miracle after that game 1 on Razor. But you're talking about how you like the Bat Rider this game.
Oh, God. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that to my boy.
That's fine. That's fine.
Now, I really think, okay, as we can see again here, yeah, these body blocks from Yapsar, these are the only reason this AA stun, I mean, that's got to be the farthest possible radius away where the stun still lands. Because otherwise, I don't think they get that kill. So, very good for them.
Yes, very good indeed,
yes,
Jenkins. Thank you.
What are you doing on your phone?
I'm just...
what are you Googling?
I'm just Googling Vengeful Spirit skills again, just to double check. As Mind Control is going to take a tumble in the bot lane. Already 2 early kills for Secret. I mean, in terms of just you found something.
I'm excited, yes. Okay, so what they did, and by they I mean Team Secret.
Right.
They're running this tri-lane bottom, and Zai, he cut himself a little tree path top through, so that way he could go behind and cut the wave.
Oh,
and so they just weren't expecting him to do that, because who the hell does do that?
Right.
And now he gets a free lane. So this is similar to what we saw with OG and the Earthshaker, except all you need is Quelling Blade to get the lane control.
Yep, very true. Is my control. Cogs, no, not leveled up yet because he's only level 1 still, but the Batter Assault is doing quite a bit here to, I mean, it's a double melee lane, and GH actually came in to try to help out. Almost cost him his life there. We'll be able to get off the salve though, and should be good to go. Yeah, so, okay, we skipped ahead a little bit here, Mr. Jenkins, but as we see in the top lane now, Zai taking some pressure. I mean, Breathe Fire, pretty good against Terrorblade, as the damage reduction is for base damage. But, like, whose lineup do you actually like more? Like, as a whole. Forget about the first blood and all that stuff, okay?
Once again, so this is like a panel question. They always ask like what your predictions are. For me, I really think that Dota's fairly balanced these days, where all heroes kind of scale decently well. Like, there are some exceptions that are complete garbage. Pudge, for example, 40% win rate. Not so good at any phase in the game.
Okay.
But, so I think Bat Rider has a free game in terms of when he has his boots of travel, and the laning phase, other than this rotation that's happening here, that's making it a bit of a pain in the ass. But then Nisha on Storm Spirit can always jump the bat in side lane, so there's options for both teams. Nyx Assassin versus Storm on the other side, if you jump the bat and there's a Nyx there, you just feed. So, like I'm saying, both sides have some options for this game.
Okay. Great prediction. Thank you.
Why do people
Taking
want
both
to predict?
sides?
Why do people want to predict?
I don't know if you know this, but it's fun to predict because somebody has to be wrong in that scenario.
How the hell am I supposed to know? These players are all better than me.
You're not okay. First of all, you're not supposed to say that. A lot of people think that you might actually be better. You're just choosing to be talent. Of course. As GH takes out a career.
I would not wish this on my worst enemy.
What, having to hang out with me? Oh.
It's very hot in the studio, and I'll let you all assume what that means.
It means that it's summertime. What do you mean?
course.
It's the theme, Jenkins.
Yeah.
For God's sake. So Kuroki and Zai are, yeah, okay, I was going to say, he can right-click into the Breathe Fire. We'll do so to make sure that he actually gets the tomato. But, I mean, a good move from Kuroki, making sure that the man is at least expended there.
Yeah, Zai's just kind of chilling up here. This is the nice thing with the DK versus... DK's always going to do fine.
Oh, the courier. Yeah, that's quite a bit. That's a set of tangos and the belt of Elven skin. I never remember the name of this stupid thing. Elven skin something. Is it a belt? Slippers?
No, that's not slippers.
What are they?
It's like a wrist guard or something. I don't know.
Oh, Miracle. He's getting really low to the right clicks of Nisha. And here comes GH from the side. Miracle. Still living on very little HP. Gets the water rune though, and we see the Impale come out. So Nigma this time, they do pick up the Nyx as we talked about last game. How does this hero feel this particular game?
Great.
Jenkins?
Two heroes, DK and Wraith King. I was about to say Skeleton. Technically, it is Skeleton King.
Yeah, if you have the cosmetic, true.
Neither of these heroes want to be mana burned. They have low mana pools, and they need their mana. And then Storm Spirit, who's going to have a massive mana pool and a ton of int. So you can do a crap load of damage to him as well as chain stun. So it's a great Nyx game, which is always hilarious because it's almost always first pick, and then it almost always ends up being a good Nyx game.
Yeah. Very powerful hero indeed. As Yapzor is going to run right into Kuroki, gets the battery assault off, but not looking to go any further right now as Miracle is kind of in control of this lane. I mean, in terms of the CS, he's 17-4 versus the 27-10. All right, that's actually a lot worse than I thought. So Nisha will also be hitting level 6 before Mr. Miracle, and we'll see if he can actually take advantage of that. But GH has the ward out here. Nisha getting a little bit more aggressive, but obviously wants to wait for that level 6.
This, to me, is another one of these, same as last game, very nice lane setups from Secret, where they do these clever little things, like with Zai and the DK, where he can sit up here with the passive and just farm freely. Oh, Nisha.
Yeah, Magic Missile, Miracle. Flame Break actually puts him back into the vicinity. But yeah, with GH there, you cannot TP, so a very value kill here. Team Nigma. But in the meantime, Yapzor, battery assault is there into ILTW. Doesn't really pose much of a threat now, though. Only level 2 versus level 5 on him.
Yeah, that level 2 battery assault is such an important point, more than doubling the damage. That's when you could potentially threaten the TB, but without that, it's not happening. Just being annoying.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of that, of course. It's funny because I feel like Yapzor these days isn't like, how do I put this correctly?
He doesn't steal farm?
Yeah.
Okay.
He used to steal a lot of farm and just get... But they had a lot of success with that, but feels like he's gotten a lot more discipline and is almost like a secondary support in a lot of these games. Which I guess technically is what it's positioned for it.
Oh, Miracle's level 5. He's got no mana. But he does have Fairy Fire.
Yeah, in the mid lane, they're going to jump on him with Nisha. Miracle pops that Fairy Fire and will survive as a result. Oh, the last right click with a Chilling Touch, not enough from Puppey. Now they're going to try to turn this around onto GH. Cold Feet not going to proc, though. They just force out Team Nigma as Miracle working on the Boots of Travel now.
I will quote my boy Owie on the question of Yapzor. I think that this guy has now kind of opened up his hero pool and his playstyles, that he has more options for how to play the game. I think he's still very capable of being greedy. I don't think you ever lose that as a player. If you could do something previously, chances are you can probably still do it. It's like riding a bike, which of course you never learned how to do, unfortunately.
That's not true. I just haven't done it in a while.
Okay. Could you do it again?
I mean, you never... Of course, you always remember how to ride a bike. It's the same as swimming.
Exactly. So that's exactly what I'm saying with Yapzor, but now he can play these kind of more traditional supporty play styles with the clock.
I think Blitz is the one that can't ride a bike, right?
Really?
Yeah. We made a content piece about that years ago.
Oh, but he's buff.
He is buff.
He probably rides bikes in the gym. It's the same thing.
He wasn't buff back then. That's the thing.
You think he can ride a bike now?
That's a good question. I'll have to wait for the panel to be able to decipher that. They have a lot of good insight for us after this game, for sure.
Of course, I think so. The panel right after. Directly after the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of good stuff.
I have to remember to ask them that for sure.
Yeah.
But looking at the farm right now, looks like Wraith King is on top right now. So Matu going for the armlet build. Again, no big surprise. Expect the rate. Do you go Radiance against? Probably not against the Nyx and Darkseer, right?
And Terrorblade.
Yeah, true. That's pretty bad.
This is one of those awkward matchups versus Terrorblade, where you don't want the Radiance because he just gets one of him. He just gets the Radiance back. But also, if you go for like a Deso build, then who's doing the damage to kill the TB? Because that's a minus armor build. And TB has like 50 armor by the time you're fighting him. So it's...
And if you get AC at some point, that's kind of the same issue with the auras, right?
Yes, and that's the way that Wraith King would typically plow through that armor. So it's weird, and I'm interested to see what Matu's solution is. Maybe he's just okay with this Storm Spirit being the answer to the TB illusions and to the TB hero.
Yep, we'll have to wait and see.
Dyer's top
1k advantage right now for Secret, so nothing too crazy, but they've definitely gone off to a bit of a better start. And I mean, the Wraith King, I mean, Matu, they got to be careful with here. You just leave this guy alone for too long, you can just go in the jungle and just absolutely amplify that farm to another degree.
TB's the same too, though, and I think you'd rather the TB doing it than the Wraith King. So Wraith King's got a bit earlier of a timing. As soon as he gets the armlet, he can start running at towers.
Oh, Misha. They see him. Oh, dodges the Impale. All right. Very sexy.
That, he had no vision of that. He just predicted.
I was trying to find the ward, but...
he just predicted. That's really cool.
Sometimes you feel a tingling, you know? You just gotta respect that.
I think you should get that checked out.
Cogs into the Wraith Fire Blast. Matu doesn't look like they'll have enough damage to take out Miracle, but with that Dragon Form now popped from Zai, at the very least some damage will be done to this tier 1.
Yeah, he's got max Dragon Blood. I like this build a lot on the offlane Dragon. I know it's very typical now, but you have treads, and it feels like your Timber Saw. You just tank towers, nobody can kill you. It's such a pain in the ass. Even if they do kill you, it's usually not worth it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you want as an offlaner. Just be annoying.
Let me see the Cogs. Magic Missile was there, but he's able to take the haste. But the lasso is there before the stun comes out, so this will likely be a kill. Although Yapzor still quite fast, and the Magic Missile was actually in range, but he's still alive. Living on the edge. Yeah, the raindrop definitely a lifesaver there. The Secret get away with murder, but Miracle in the meantime taking heavy damage. No cold feet to proc though. They'll just break things up.
I'd like to point out he also has a casual cloak. If this gentleman had one less of these items, he would not have survived that. That was 3 heroes hitting him. That is such a terrible trade for Nigma. And I'm sure Yapzor was not like, oh, let me do the calculations. Like, there's no way he's calculating that, but very convenient for Secret.
Yeah, GH already popped the Spike Carapace, so great job. Oh, they impale up to 3 heroes, though, into the Vac Wall combination with the Magic Missile to follow. So Yapzor looks like he might, okay, he's actually not taking that much damage as there's the Breeze Fire into the Dragon Tail. Secret disengaging for now, but Matu has come to play, gets the Wraith Fire Blast off onto Kuro. Gonna hit the Magic Missile to the face, though, so this will be his first life in all likelihood. I don't think it seems like Secret weren't on the same page there, at least not at the start. There's the stun from the Spike Carapace on Nisha again. Wraith Fire Blast. Not quite available as Kuro gets off. No, not going to get out with that Chilling Touch to be able to take him out. Now Zai actually runs right into the wall. Or is that a reflection? Yeah, that's the reflection. A lot of illusions for sure. A blast coming in, it's going to connect on the 3, but it's going to come at the cost of Zai's life. And the tower still survives, so Team Nigma mounting a nice defense here.
One of those funny situations where you have a Dragon Knight on one side, so both teams know that this tower is either going to die or the Dragon Knight is going to die. And so both teams are very committed to just 5-manning the mid tower with even ILTW and Matumba getting involved. Yeah, like, I can't believe he survived this. If the Firefly was up, definitely Yapzor goes down there. He doesn't have that raindrop, he goes down.
GH's response had none.
he was not, I told you, he was not expecting that. I mean, the guy's a great player, but nobody goes in expecting, I can take...
Yeah, I mean, even if he had died, he wouldn't have felt that bad because that's pretty decent space created. He took the rune as well.
Yeah,
but surviving on top of that, yeah, that feels very good.
Moral victory, too.
Yep, you would know a lot about that one. That's all you get.
Yeah, that's true. That's not even a... That's just...
It's just a fact.
It's true. It's just true.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's go back to this Vengeful Spear for the Kuro. So Nether Swap, yeah, the cast range is still the same as the old days. So level 1 is just, it's kind of weak, right? It feels like you don't really get the consistent swaps until you get level 2, which, you know, it's going to be pretty far away for him.
This was
5.
This was a good ability when there was 2 of them.
Oh man, that was great.
And then they've removed it and added an Aghanim Scepter that requires you to die.
Yeah.
You have to be dead and feeding to use it, which...
Well, first they put in the one where it feared when you swap,
sure,
right?
But I feel like this Aghanim Scepter is playing to lose.
You think so, huh?
You have to be dead for it to get value.
Well, he's playing position 5, so I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say he's not getting the Ags anytime soon.
That's all I'm saying is they nerfed the hero to add that Ags.
Right.
But that's the problem.
It is a cool Ags in theory, though, right? Just needs maybe a tweak or two. I mean, you get XP still as an illusion. It's the strongest illusion in the game, theoretically, right? You get everything. The only problem is when you respawn on top of it and you're in front of like 5 heroes.
That is true. I learned that you can backpack the Ags.
Oh,
that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Because I did see somebody getting farmed. Their Venge and the Furion was perma-sprouting the Venge illusion and killing them on the respawn. It's like, okay, this is the most griefing Ags in the game, and then you can backpack it.
I think I've seen that video. This is probably the only one I've ever watched on your channel. All right, so 2K net worth lead for Secret. The arrows were really distracting in that one. That's why I clicked on it, actually. 2K net worth lead for Secret. It's a tier 1 tower now, as Team Nigma trying to apply some pressure with this metamorphosis from ILTW. Has the S and Y now, and Miracle. Talked about him. The initiation is going to be really important from him, but one for the BKB after the boots of AA blast with the connection, but a nice swap from Kuro. Finally hits level 6. Impale onto 2 heroes, and that's 2 heroes from Secret just evaporated. And Kuro and company trying to get some damage onto the Storm Spirit. Nisha burning down very slowly. A good counter initiation there from Yapsor. He might actually live through this, and Nisha was basically safe from Yapsor, so even if he dies, he'll be happy with that exchange. But in the end, no heroes for Team Nigma die in this engagement.
Just sick team play from Nigma between the Dark Seer and the Nyx Stun. That's not an easy combo to hit. I know you see like these Ravages all the time, but it's honestly, it's usually teams like Nigma that are pulling that sort of thing off. It's very hard. And with the wall too, the Dragon Knight is one of the best heroes in the game, just straight up.
They still want to fight. The Vac is there, and AA takes the tumble. Matu in the meanwhile still has his ultimate available. You can see he is going for the Deso build that you talked about. Trying to chase GH, but he can just get off this Wraithfire blast. It will be enough, but the Impale comes out again. Breathe Fire to follow, but Matu can't catch up. Still not able to find a kill in the last couple minutes here for Secret.
Middle tower is drowning.
Oh, he's gonna find Kuro, and nobody really in the vicinity, but he doesn't know that, of course. So he's just gonna play it safe.
Dire's middle
I think Secret really needs this Zai Blink Dagger on DK. In all of these fights, Mind Control is just constantly surging people away, and it feels like there's nothing Secret can do to stop that currently. They need the DK stun for sure, and ILTW is becoming a real problem. I'm not entirely sure how they solve him. I think some smoke is definitely in order, because once he gets the BKB, I mean, he looked relatively unkillable in that last fight with his team supporting him. Now imagine if he has magic immunity as well, or spell immunity, I should say.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We can see here the previous fight, of course. The Impale from GH is going to be pretty massive. I mean, this is actually a long countdown.
Yeah,
but this was huge.
But it's huge impact.
Yeah, it was a triple, and the range looked like way longer than I'm used to seeing on the Impale.
Every spell in Dota works like that, it seems.
Yeah, that is true. Here it goes. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, we have a team fight. Oh my goodness. AA blast coming out. Vacuum outside of it though. And Miracle will be the first to fall. So Secret finally getting a kill here after a couple minutes of a drought, if you will, as the Impale's going to connect on 2. They're going to lose Zai and Yapsor, though, and now Secret on the run. So despite losing Miracle, ILTW is still virtually unkillable, it feels like. They do find Kuroki in the end, but still a 2 for 2 that I believe... Actually, Secret will take this at that point, for sure.
I have no idea.
For sure.
I have no idea.
They kill Miracle. That's a pretty high value kill for sure.
Yeah, but you know, you lose the auto.
Nisha. Oh, he's gonna get impaled. Do they have anything after it? Vacuum kept him in place for a bit, but looks like he's gonna survive. A counter initiation now from Yapsor. Gets the cogs off, along with that hook shot. But Carapace is there. They get bounced the other side, and that'll break things up.
Yeah, Yapsor has 4 points in Rocket Flare now, so he doesn't really offer any damage for these fights. He is,
interesting.
He's purely disruption. And so all of the damage needs to come from Nisha as well as Matumba. But the thing is with Nisha, he is getting owned by this Nyx Assassin in these fights.
Oh, Matu. Look at this damage on Miracle. And from the back line, Nisha jumps in, takes him out. and a huge crit from Matu is enough to take out GH in turn. And with so much mana to spare, Nisha finds Kuroki, and that is going to be a third kill in the blink of an eye, and you can see the battery still doing nothing. I've never seen this build, I feel like. It's a foreign rocket flare. What's the reasoning for this? Just to push out waves?
Yeah, you know, I think it's one of those builds where you don't think that you can sit there and fight anyway. Like, he's gonna die to like a TB, you know, people are gonna be surged out of the cogs. Like, it's purely for pushing waves, and you're just playing to stun in fights. That's it.
Okay. Kind of cool though.
It's interesting. I think, I mean, 8-8, so it looks like they don't lack the damage.
Yeah, I mean, Matu is dealing a lot of single target damage now, for sure, with the Decimal online.
But ILTW, I mean, he's still the lingering problem. I think he can die. If Miracle continues to get picked off like this, we could see some sort of... If Nigma aren't all 5, then I think ILTW can die.
All right, Team Nigma, we're posturing around the Roshan pit, want to take control of this triangle. They have the vision. And this Rosh, I mean, Secret can take this Rosh really fast with the Wraith King. And if they can prevent it, this would be huge for either side, really. And ILTW is going to start on the Roshan here.
Zai is just showing bot.
Yeah, Yabzor gets off his cogs, but the flame break outside of it, beautifully done. But they're getting bounced back left and right, but Firefly is going to be enough in the end. Still has his buyback, though, as Roshan now is at half HP. ILTW popped the Metamorphosis for this.
Yeah, the Secret's choosing to sack this Rosh.
Dire's bottom tower
That's an
is
interesting
under
call.
attack.
Once again, it's just one of these things. You question why. It's not because Yapsor just died. They chose to sack this beforehand. And Zai just showing on the bot.
Yeah.
So what is it that they're waiting for that they think is so important?
Well, the BKBs, right, to start, at least for Matu.
Yeah, they're going 3 BKBs on each of their cores, not 3 individually. That would make no sense. Suns fan, do that
Dire's
look.
bottom tower
I'm
is
literally
under
not looking
attack.
at you, but good attempt,
Stop,
good effort.
Stop looking at me.
All right, yeah, Nisha, he already has the Ags queued up after the BKB. That's pretty cool to see that he already has that in mind. The Zai, he's going to get vacuumed into the wall. Looks like he's resigned to his death as he does take out the tier 1 tower. He's going to force out a bunch of TPs in the meantime. The entire team made it here just to take out Zai. I think he's actually going to be happy with that, if I'm being honest. Yeah, relatively even now, but Aegis now online for ILTW.
It's very satisfying for me to see Zai dying as a DK versus Darkseer, because I was in a pub against him. I was 1-17 feeding on DK versus his Darkseer. He just completely dumpsters the hero. You just get this illusion of the Dragon Knight, and he can never blink away.
Right.
You can surge it, you can put the Ion Shell on it, and the slow.
It's incredible that every game you talk about.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is great. Look at that.
That's what he gets. He completely owned me. He ran to the Darkseer.
Oh, meanwhile, I believe somebody is dying. And yeah, that's going to be Puppy taking a death. I believe he has his shard now. It's Nisha. Oh, the Sunder comes out. So ILTW being very confident with that since he does have the Aegis intact.
Radiant's
Try to turn this around into a tier 2 tower now. Because yeah, the shard for... It's funny that he would... Interesting that he prioritizes this so much. To be able to have Ice Vortex do damage over time to be able to push and farm out for himself.
Radiant's middle tower can't handle
On Puppy? Yeah.
Dire's
Do you
top
think
tower
it's a
is
must-have
under
on the
attack.
hero? I know Aoi. Was it Aoi that was saying that it's not a must-have?
Yeah, I feel like it is.
You think it is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I agree with you. You're completely wrong on this one.
All right, well, I agree with Puppy. So I think I'll take my odds. I think that's fine.
This is TI winner, I guess.
Yeah, but one TI winner is now an analyst.
Oh, that's a
and the
bar.
other is
Yeah,
still playing.
That's true. That's true. I'll go with Puppy on that one. It's a good item.
All right, Smoke now on Team Nigma. Oh, Yapzor. Yeah, he's going to be the one to tank the gank, as it were, to get the flame break off into the Impale, and the right clicks from ILTW are enough. But Matu wants to fight. Miracle taking so much damage. Just one right click, really. Pretty insane, the amount of damage that Matu's able to do. But of course, it is a different build, right? It's very single target based. You're not having the Radiance do this ridiculous amount of damage over time. But he's almost done with his BKB.
I think Secret needs to play extremely well, or Nigma needs to make a huge mistake to lose this, just given that this Wraith King does not have the damage to kill ILTW.
Oh, see the Dragon Tail start things out. It's going to be a double clip from Matu. Basically enough damage to take out GH to start this fight, but Puppey going to fall shortly after. So it's a 1-for-1. Nice hook shot from Yapzor into the cogs. Trying to create as much space as possible, but there's the vac wall. Zai attempting to TP out, but the magic missile cancels it, and Secret are crumbling now. Although the jump in from Nisha, trying to clean some heroes up, gets Miracle at the very least. Going to TP out to safety. So Secret are getting some trades, but definitely feel like they are behind right now in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you kill ILTW, especially with the Aegis. I think Nigma can walk up whatever the hell high ground they want and get away. I mean, that's a crazy thing to do, right? As a Nyx assassin, walking up that high ground there. It's probably the best hero to be doing it because he is the carapace, but it's still something that most teams won't do. But Nigma understands that even if he dies, given that they have the Aegis, given the strength that they have right now, if he dies, they still win the team fight there. Like, Secret has no business farming anywhere on the map if Nigma wants to go there.
Yep, very true. And you can see the farm discrepancy. ILTW, 15k net worth basically right now. And what is he working on? Let's see.
Radiant are scanning for
Looks to be, actually, the Scotty should be done,
yeah,
right?
He's getting a Skady.
Skady. That's an interesting way to pronounce that. 100 away from the point boost to finish that off, and we'll be going for the butterfly afterwards. And, I mean, does this require Wraith King for Matu to get MKB once that butterfly is online? Has the BKB now.
I think he probably will, because at this point you're going to need some combined damage to kill ILTW. So even though he is going for this primarily physical build, I still think that it's going to require him and Nisha to be hitting ILTW at the same time if they want to win this game.
And you can see the majority of Secret are now smoked up, looking for a way to take out ILTW. Still has that Aegis, but it shouldn't be lasting too much longer. They are spotted out here.
Secret really wants to fight this.
Ooh,
they
the
placed
smoke again? Full 5-man smoke from Nigma. BKB, ILTW focusing on Puppey. They're going to get him right off the bat. The back wall onto 3 heroes. Nisha pops his BKB though. And Miracle looks like he's going to be taken out. The Kuroki swap, not enough. Double buyback from Secret. They really want to win this fight. GH looks to be next on the list for Matu, but ILTW still no answer for him right now. They're going to focus on his second life for the Wraith King. Do they have enough damage to actually burst him down? The focus is there. The double kill for Nisha. They actually take out Terrorblade. And now this is going to turn into a full team wipe in Secret's favor. Did cost them a couple buybacks, but Matu just dealing so much freaking damage.
All right. MVP for that fight, Puppey. This is something he does so frequently that I made a video about him doing this. And it got no views because I didn't put an arrow in the thumbnail.
Yeah, you need the arrow.
But he will legitimately just face walk into fights like that if he has buyback in order to immediately buy back and then take the fight, which is really cool. I mean, it's such a silly thing to watch.
Oh, all right, we're gonna have a TP here. Miracle gets off the lasso. There's still a second life for Matu. Miracle pops the BKB. A blast does connect. See if Matu wants to back up here. Looks like he will do so now that a couple more members from Team Nigma are coming back to life, but he should be good. Level 19 now. I mean, what's the item build? We talked about MKB. I believe he has something coming to him right
What do you got coming here? Blink Dagger.
Okay.
So Swift Blink, maybe? I think it's unlikely he's going to get an AC next. So I think Swift Blink, Abyssal Blade's not a bad item with the Blink Dagger. Now, you know, with this Abyssal losing the blink factor to it, I think having the blink first into Abyssal is a pretty solid build. And
Nisha is pretty close to getting the Aghanim Scepter, so the Electric Vortex AoE, essentially Black Hole, which is a true game changer for sure. But I mean, I feel like Team Nigma, they do have some answers, right? You have the Spike Carapace, if you can see him coming from afar. And I mean, the Vac Wall has been, I mean, so far it's been really well executed from Mind Control.
And now Secret has BKBs though, so the Vac Wall is not as destructive in these fights for them. But with that being said, like, still, the problem of ILTW, they killed him in that fight only because they were able to isolate him and chain stun him. Like, I think if Yapzor wasn't able to hit that hook after the fight was kind of already over, with ILTW being at like 10% HP, I think he can just turn around and sunder there and maybe even win the fight. Right. So it takes a lot of crazy execution for Secret to kill ILTW in these fights, and I think that's still going to be required up until Nisha has the Aghanim Scepter. Then it gets a bit easier, but it's still it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Dire's middle
Yeah,
tower
he was
is
originally
under
opting to go for that
pressure.
butterfly next on ILTW, but it looks to be the Daedalus instead, which
Radiant's
has
bottom
been
tower
actually
is
the
under attack.
biggest change of the build, I would say, in the last, I mean, from the major itself.
Radiant's
Just going for that
bottom
Daedalus
tower has
relatively early. As you can see, the Matu talent. The 6 skeletons being spawned.
Oh, he went for that without the skeleton damage talent. That's his whole build is kind of strange. Strange in the sense that you often see the other talents. You'll see the attack speed, movement speed's typical, but then you'll see the strength usually because you're playing the right click. So he's got an odd mix.
Well, the strength as well, because you want to be tankier when you have the Radiance, right? Which obviously didn't go this game.
True.
Is actually going for the AC, so you still will get some value from those illusions on Nigma's side, at least.
I suppose you have the BKB to dispel the illusion of TB now, so that's something. You have some option.
Oh, they're looking for a fight here. Matu, don't have any vision though. Hiding in the trees, he's gonna blink in. Oh, he's gonna get stunned to start things out. He's taking so much damage from ILTW. That's gonna be the first fight for him. Here comes the AA block. Miracle running as much damage as he can as Nisha basically out of mana now. And Wraith King, Mr. Matu, gets focused down into oblivion. Zai, all he can do is Dragon Tail and attempt to run away. GH is waiting for this BKB
Stormers are
to
reaching.
wear off before this Impale comes, but the blink is there for Zai, so they only lose 1. But
That's all right. I'm down.
Yapsor actually jumps in. There's the Electric Vortex AoE. The Aghanim Scepter come to fruition for Nisha, but now he has no mana as the right clicks will commence. Zai, Dragon Tail off onto ILTW, but the Impale is there and the right clicks will be more than enough.
Can't handle this Daedalus.
Interesting that they would go for that without Matu alive. Basically a support for a mid there.
Yeah, that was interesting. There's a little bit of miscommunication there from Seeker. Oh, that would have been crazy prediction, but no, he's playing it safe.
Yeah, this is a very back and forth game as second Roche is now up and Nigma know that it is up. So with this Crystal's online for ILTW, we'll be focusing on it.
And Nisha has no buyback, so they might still be afraid on Nigma. They don't exactly.
Zai attempting to TP out will be successful, but I don't think they can contest this at all. I mean, if they can maybe delay it, I mean, it's 30 seconds on Storm. That's what you're waiting for.
Did you see that Miracle tried to psychic headband him close so that Nyx could stun?
Oh, really?
That was cool. Yeah, I was looking, I was like, who has a Force Staff? And then, oh yeah, that's that item. That's a
There's
hilarious
smokes up on
item.
Secret, so Nigma did not, I mean, we have all the information. They could have just killed it, probably.
Oh, we're gonna watch it again. He
I think it's
tried.
safe.
Look at this.
Oh!
Right near the end.
Yeah, this is a good effort, no doubt.
It's a little bit too far away. Perhaps if we had that wind lace in GH's inventory instead of the 2 fluffy hats.
Yeah, the min-maxing for real.
Yes, he should have. Yeah, of course. With Psychic Headband on back.
I mean, he basically has Ags now. So that is going to be something to fear. As Matu now focusing on it, they can see it's at half HP, and now you have the damage coming through as Nisha's inside the pit. This is the Aegis, Cheese, and Shard, the all-important Roche number 2. Flame Break comes out, but the skeletons will respawn themselves. So both teams know how important this fight is, and Roche is pretty low. And it looks like Seeker are going to try to